microphone was low key. Why didn't I say Wow, shocking.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yep, I
I
agree.
mean, I guess that's what we all thought was going to happen. Just waiting. What if it happens while we're going live?
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I'll hint at it without saying anybody's name. Or school. I love knowing things that nobody else knows. It's so much fun. That was such a good job of you remembering to send it in the research tab. Because I would have just not been thinking about it, and I would have just said it out loud. It wouldn't be that. There are worse things that we could say.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's the longest 10 minutes of all time. The big loop letters in the back of my room, like with the way that my webcam is right now, it just looks like it says poop. Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's what I would have on my wall. I mean, of course. What else would you have on my wall?
over here. You want to go see him? Again? I'm gonna get up. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes. You hold down the.
I will.
the search is finally over. We kind of had a little bit of like an uneasy couple of weeks, not like worrisome, but just a little uncomfortable. Like you're just sitting there and all these other coaches are making different hires and the coaching carousel is going on. And you're like, what's A&M going to do? And A&M has finally made their decision. They hired they interviewed from what I've heard, several different candidates. They interviewed a mid-major head coach, a ton of other really high caliber pitching coaches, and they decided to go with Barry Enright from the MLB. So, Tag, when you saw this pop up on your phone, what was your initial gut feeling or reaction?
Well, I actually missed it live. I was on my way to my brother's baseball game at 8 a.m, and I was napping in the car, and I see my phone start blowing up. I'm like, oh, something had to have happened, and I see it's Barry Enright, and start doing a little digging on my own. I'm like, yeah, it's a great hire.
Yeah, I was very excited. Like, to be honest with you, I actually missed the notification by like 2 hours because I slept in. So I wasn't even the one that posted it. We were going to be late if Dalen didn't post that we hired him. So that was really bad by me. But before that the hire happened, I was thinking in my head, like, if we make a pitching coach hire and it's another pitching coach from college baseball already, not saying I would have been disappointed, but I kind of would have been a little disappointed. I was really excited about the idea of going the major league route, kind of like what Jim Schlossnagle did with Max Weiner. It's actually kind of a very similar situation when you look at it. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, like, would you rather have A&M done this instead of going for a proven like college baseball head coach?
Yeah, I feel like it is because he's already Enright probably has already had all the facilities that A&M's building, like the pitching lab, etc. All the stuff that's being built right now in the new facility that they said Bronny said it should be ready by fall ball. He's probably already had, and now he's probably fine tuning what's inside of it to get to where it needs to be. If A&M would have gone on the collegiate route, I would have liked to seen what Florida just announced. If they went the college route, I do not think that's what Early wanted. Being on that 24 staff and how crucial Weiner was to the success of these pitchers, but yeah, I think it was the right decision.
From what I've heard from trustworthy people that know what they're talking about, this interview process was really interesting. So as I said, they early in the staff interviewed a bunch of different people, and even the mid-major head coach and other college baseball pitching coaches that they interviewed, they kind of left the interview going, maybe, like, I like him, like, maybe. But after the interviews with Barry Enright and after all of the conversations that they had, it was like a very, very easy, confident yes for this guy, which is really interesting. He's only been coaching. He hasn't been coaching for very long compared to a lot of the other options that were available. And so, yeah, I mean, they went with him. Let's go into his background a little bit. Barry Enright, he was a pitcher at Pepperdine. He was a second-round draft pick by the Diamondbacks in 2007. He pitched for the Diamondbacks and I think in the minors for like 2 years or so. And then he pitched for the Angels from 2012 to 2013. He started his coaching as the Diamondbacks in the minor league system in 2019. And then he spent the 2022 and 2023 season on the Diamondbacks staff. He went from assistant pitching coach to, the minor league coordinator. And he was on that team, that 2023 team. He was on that staff, that team that went to the World Series and lost to the Rangers. And then he was the primary pitching coach for the Angels in 2024, kind of an iffy organization. And then he was also he was just at the Athletics before the Oakland Athletics, or not Oakland. It's not Oakland anymore. Whatever. Caden, who's in Paris? Hank, I don't know what this means. I literally have no idea what that means, but thank you. So Early went with him. I am very excited about this. I'm even with the lack of experience, like just a younger, kind of more stats oriented guy. I think one of the big advantages is like when you look at something that we talked about with Jason Kelly after some of these losses was like, if you're a recruit or a pitcher, why would you want to come pitch at Texas A&M over Texas? right? Like Max Weiner or Jason Kelly. Sounds like a pretty easy decision for a lot of guys. And so, yeah, you just needed to make a more competitive hire for recruiting. And I think that this is like the perfect competitive hire, right? Like when you talk about pitchers, college guys that want to play in the major leagues, you know, this like Barry Enright, who's been in the major leagues, he can, as a recruiting pitch, he can go to these guys and say, like, if you want to play in the MLB, I know exactly what they're looking for, and I know exactly how to coach you, and I know exactly what you need to be, because I was literally just in the MLB making these decisions. So yeah, you should be much more competitive in the recruiting space now that he is here, as opposed to when Jason Kelly was here.
Yeah, I agree because of the track record of what we've seen the big guys coming from the MLB down to college over the last 3-4 hires, the big ones. Wes Johnson, look where they're at right now. They're heading to Omaha with, they're known for their power, but like Volchko's been really good. Vigu's been very good. Like he knows how to recruit good pitchers. And then obviously Max Weiner. So those are the big ones that have had tremendous success coming down from the big league level. And you just hope that that translates over to A&M.
And we can talk about like the MLB to college route. Like, yeah, Wes Johnson is the head coach of Georgia right now, and they're known for their power. But he was also on the LSU staff in 2023 that won the national championship, and he coached, Paul Skeens, obviously, and so he was a part of that team. And then also, as I mentioned before, Max Weiner, he left the Mariners to join A&M in that 2024 run. It was, an instant impact. The team ERA dropped by 2 whole points, which is crazy. And then obviously that pitching staff carried them through Omaha and all the way to the national championship. So Max Weiner was only here for 1 year, and that's how immediate of an impact that was. I don't know exactly how you could compare Max Weiner to Barry Enright. Like, you just don't know what it's going to look like. But it was kind of a similar process. Like, do you think that this is? I'm very excited, and I'm not trying to be too wishful and like overexcited. But do you think this is kind of comparable to
I agree.
The Max Weiner situation?
Yeah, Max Weiner came from the Mariners and same West Coast environment to pitch in. But yeah, I think it's very comparable when you look at it. The only problem is when you look at the Mariners is a very well-run organization. When now the A's are becoming that, where he was the pitching coordinator, we're overseeing the whole organization's pitchers. But in Anaheim, that's just it's not one of the good organizations. They don't really spend a lot of money on the roster, at least ever since they missed on Anthony Rendon. They knew they weren't going to be able to sign Shohei. So just like, it's hard when what you're dealt with in the major league crop is not elite. So we'll see what happens when he gets all the A&M resources, the pitching lab, all the nice facilities that you get here for these college kids to enjoy.
Yeah, hopefully now that this hire has happened, we can really hit the ground running in terms of the portal and just recruiting pitchers, because you really need that. That's the big conversation for next season is you need some starters, you need some relievers, and you need guys that can throw really competitive pitches, which you could not do this last year. And I cannot name names. I'm not allowed to tell you certain names or teams, but I would expect a very big commitment from a great pitcher out of the portal very soon. Now that this hire has happened, I can't say names, but we'll talk about that when the roster is constructed, and we'll be like, told you. I don't know. I'm just really excited to now kind of hit the ground running with recruiting now that you have your guy. What do you think? Do you have anything else?
You've seen the start of a good portal haul. You've got Jack Bell. You've got I'm blanking on the other guy. I don't know why right now. But
Lane Arroyos.
Yes, Lane Arroyos. Thank you. You two very good different skill set. I've heard the comp for Arroyos for Jake Dewar with a little more pop, which is great because you're losing Jake Dewar probably. I don't know. He has his eligibility hearing coming up pretty soon, if I had to guess, due to a possible medical redshirt when he was at TCU, I believe. So yeah, you're getting someone that's very similar to that, and the way he hit 24 doubles, I think that tied the their school history in doubles in a season at 24 in a very pitchers friendly ballpark at Western Kentucky. And then Jack Bell, who was already here, elite defender, great teammate, and he's got some untapped potential with the bat coming to Olsen, which the ball has flown over the last.
Aiden and Ty, I don't answer questions. I don't know. Don't answer questions. Okay, another angle I wanted to talk about just as early making this hire, because he hired Jason Kelly and Caleb Longley his first year, and those are two coaches that are not here anymore, which is fine that you're a first-year head coach and you don't make perfect hires immediately when you're rushed to put a team together. Like, okay, I can forgive you. That's fine. So this is kind of the second cycle of assistant coaches. Another interesting thing to think about is we're calling Enright the pitching coach, but his official title is like associate head coach. Like he's a assistant head coach, and he has the keys to the whole pitching lab, and that's what he's going to be doing. But he is the associate head coach, and so there is still technically another spot to fill with Caleb Longley stepping down. And so, yeah, Early still has another, spot to fill. And so I think this kind of shows Early is operating a little bit more like a manager and like a CEO, right? He's bringing in a high level, pro coordinator. Again, even in the majors, Barry Enright wasn't pitching coach. He was, again, like associate head coach, pitching coordinator. And so, he's bringing in a guy that can also help manage the team. And so, yeah, he's obviously handing him the keys to the pitching lab, but I think it's good. It's a good example of just Early's leadership kind of evolving, hiring an elite specialist and then basically trusting them to run the department. And obviously he has experience doing that in the majors. So not technically just the pitching coach. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the Caleb Longley spot, but I feel much more comfortable with the staff right now.
Yeah. I believe some intel was talked about it where A&M was definitely going to figure out the pitching coach first before they went after Longley's replacement. So I fully expect now the search to, once the portal class starts coming together, once they get more visitors on campus for the pitching side, then they'll turn their focus on making that position, which is the right decision. Like, you've got to get going. A lot of these programs have already landed a lot of key names, so you've got to get started on that. And we'll hear news coming in on visitors soon. But yeah, I think you're in a great position right now. And the good part about this staff so far, Early's really young, and Enright's pretty young for an assistant. And then you've got your mix of older, with Hutchins has been here forever, and now you have Cliff as well, who's handling a lot of the recruiting. Now you have someone to help pitch to these guys with Cliff.
Yeah, so Barry, he's 40 years old and Early's 38, so he hired somebody who's older than them. It's just Early's very young. It's very funny. Okay, something else that I wanted to talk about was a lot of people were having this very panicky conversation about Gavin Grahovac leaving and Caden Sorrell not being on the team anymore, and Chris Akopian. And, the lineup next year is pretty objectively not going to be as top heavy and scary as it was this last year. Like, it's just not. You're losing Gavin and Caden. Like, that's tough to overcome completely. You're not just going to like replace those guys. Top to bottom, the team, I think the entire team will be better. And that's what I wanted to talk about. It's perfectly okay if the offense averages 7 runs a game instead of 9 runs a game, if you're able to hold the opponent to under 7 runs a game every single game. And so, like, that's the biggest change for me that needs to happen is, yeah, you're losing Gavin and Caden, but if the other team doesn't score 10 runs a game like they did this last year, you're going to be okay. And so, yeah, like, yes, my response is just, yes, losing Gavin and Caden is a big deal. But when the pitching picks up a little bit of the slack and the team top to bottom is better, it's okay. Like, you can still win a lot of games.
Yeah, I was
So,
watching the B team earlier in the week, and I think Bronny and Zane were having this exact discussion. It's like, well, where do you replace? Are we replacing it in the aggregate Billy Bean style? And I think it is like too cliche, Moneyball it, but that's what this next year's team's going to be. You're missing out on the top run or the top home run production in Gavin and Caden. But you're gonna this team's gonna hit a lot of home runs next year. I can tell you that. It's not like you're just gonna if all of a sudden you went from 100. I don't remember the home run totals from last year, but you're not just gonna disappear. It's not gonna cut in half. Like I would not expect it. It's just how the ballpark plays. It's a hitter's ballpark.
Yep.
Plus, you'll see. I think they're in a great spot with some of these portal hitters to possibly retool this lineup.
All right. A&M in 2026 gave up in 57 games, gave up 90 home runs, finished 15th in total strikeouts in the SEC. The team sort of last year just focused on getting, letting the other team basically put balls in play and then trying to get outs that way. And even though Olson is a very hitters friendly ballpark, like at Texas, like the great thing about being the pitching coach at Texas is that's one of the toughest places to hit home runs. It's like really big park. It's pitching friendly ballpark. But when you hire somebody that's, from the MLB and is very, very focused on tons of just crazy amounts of stats and analytics and exactly what kind of pitches to throw in every single situation. Like that's what Max Wiener was at A&M, just heavy analytics dude. Whereas Jason Kelly, it wasn't so much analytic. It wasn't as much like, so that's what I'm saying is like bringing in a more analytics based guy that knows exactly what he needs to do in every single situation is a lot better. And the next step is like, it's great if you know what pitches you need to throw and how to execute everything, but you have to get the pitchers to be able to do that. And so hopefully we're talking about a pitching staff next year with more SEC caliber pitches. Like I went on this rant a billion times. Your stuff just wasn't SEC caliber. You couldn't throw a lot of different pitches for strikes. You're fast. Everybody on the team is throwing like a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Just not SEC competitive stuff. And so hopefully, that's immediately addressed and you start seeing portal commits, which I think will happen very soon. Oh, he can throw 95 and 96 and he has high strikeout numbers, something that's more competitive in the SEC. And then, the team top to bottom will hopefully be a lot better next year. So that's, I don't know. I don't have a ton else to add. I'm very excited.
But, the what I think was the focus point was that you were not going to walk anyone. Well, they had the personnel to do that. They didn't have the personnel to strike out anyone really. And then you look at the flip side at a team like LSU where they had the guys that could strike out everyone, but they walked a lot of people. And that's why their run numbers were so large given up. And against teams that aren't not the top competition, like LSU lost to Sac State in a series. Like, so, I mean, they were vulnerable to the walks. And then once they got on, then usually came the big hit.
Yep. All right. I don't know. That's all I kind of have. I just think in the portal now, his job now in the portal is to convince people that coming to College Station is your fastest route to the draft. Like that's what the angle is. He's an MLB guy. He can say, I know exactly what these people are looking for because I was just the one doing those evaluations. I can get you to the draft if you come pitch for me at A&M. That sounds much more appealing than the Jason Kelly pitch. And so I am very excited to see what happens with the transfer portal now that this hire has been announced. Expecting somebody big to commit pretty soon now that this has happened. I don't know when we'll do another video. We'll probably do a video after the roster for next year. See, it seems complete. We can talk about what the team will look like. But yeah, we're both very, very happy about this hire, going the MLB route, younger, stats-oriented guy that can manage the pitching staff. Very exciting, very Max Wienery.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I just wanted to add one more thing. It really did feel like Jason Kelly wanted to be your friend. Like everyone, that's not like in a coach term. Like he wanted to be your friend. He was super laid back. It felt like, well, now you're going I feel like you're going completely different, which is a good thing. It didn't work with Jason Kelly, so now you go a completely different route. So now will he be successful is the ultimate question.
That's all. I don't know. That's all I have. Kind of short thoughts, but yeah, that's all I have. Do you have anything else, or
No, we're
are
good.
we finished? Thank you guys very much for watching. We are very excited about this. We will hopefully see a lot of exciting commits soon, and we'll be feeling good about the team next year. And then we'll do a video kind of talking about the roster once that looks constructed. So, yeah, thank you guys very much. We will talk to you soon. Stay tuned on Instagram for portal updates. And yes, good night, good afternoon.